All right, mute your microphones. Okay. Hey, hiya. Hey, peace and paradise to all American Aborigines. Chief Holidays in the building. We got an honored guest in the building today. We have Chief Kalanago in the building. Peace, brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing absolutely wonderful, brother. I appreciate you
That's
having me on the platform. Everything is wonderful. Everything is blessed.
Chief. Yeah, man. That's what's happening, man. Hey, man. I already know, man. You're a busy man, just like myself, man. So, like I said, whenever I get a chance, I catch you on something, or I catch one of your live streams, or catch playback or something like that, or whatever, man. When I get some time, I know the same thing with you. You're doing so much work. It's hard to, you got blinders on. You handle your business, right?
Hmm.
But I caught a piece of your Crumb Snatcher TV
Hmm.
interview
Yeah,
down the lane while you were moving around. We're gonna talk
yeah.
about that. Get back to the moving around part a little later. But
Hmm.
down there, put in work with that brother, man. So I kind of, wanted to get, like the conversation and got it and start talking about bearing gifts when you come to somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was an interesting concept, an interesting tradition. You know what I'm saying? So we want to start this out, you know, in the same tradition as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we talk about that tradition as um, when you come to someone's home or whatever, you bring a gift. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Right. So yeah, kind of start this interview off. Kind of get into that
Right.
tradition. Yeah, this is
Well,
what.
well, yeah, definitely. It has always been a customary thing. Like I tell folks, I grew up with the culture and in the culture. I grew up in the nature island of the Caribbean, which is Dominica. You know what I mean? And I left, when I was 17, old enough to, like, you know what? Not a full grown man, but old enough because I didn't want to follow the rules of the home because, for religious purposes, I didn't want to be going to church. And, when you're in the home, you got to do what your parents say. So it's either you do what they say or, you make your move. So I decided to make my move because I didn't want to, be in that whole church thing. But with that being said, growing up, um, the whole concept of going to someone home, it doesn't matter, man. Like, I don't care if it's a small token. You never go into someone's home without bringing a gift. If you didn't, that was a form of disrespect, like seriously. So kind of grew up, knowing that. So that stuck with me, you know what I mean? No matter where I go, I go to somebody's home, I ask them, hey, what do you like? And then I bring something, even if it's to, if I have to take them out or do something, I have to offer something. Now it's up to them to say, well, I'm fine. But even if they themselves don't take it, it's still a form of disrespect. So it's just, again, that's just part of the culture, brother, give and take.
Yeah, man, and even just to bring it down to just a basic level, you know what I'm saying? When you go into your partner's house, you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna come through with the drink, or you're gonna bring something to add to, you know, obviously you
Mhm.
know what your partner like to drink, you know what I mean? So you're not
Yeah,
gonna come in there with beer for yourself. So just bringing to that example, some of the stuff that we do instinctively, you know what I'm saying? It's just a part of our American culture.
mhm.
So yeah, yeah, man. So this is absolute, a gift, for you to come through and bless um, Freedom Chief Holidays channel, and just the tribe of community, man. That you're a part of as well, man.
Mhm.
Um, one thing that you already doing that we talked about is you're always touring, you're always moving around
Mhm.
and seeing America, and speaking and teaching the people from any city. I seen you on a pier in Chicago. You
Mhm.
just be wherever, right? So just kind of break that down. The importance of getting out and
Yeah.
touching the people, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's important to me. I mean, to me, it's a major step in moving in the right direction because, it's one thing, when you behind a camera, on the internet or wherever you at, and you're talking to people. Yes, we're giving them information. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times for me, I'm more of an energy type of man. I like to feel people's energy. I like to feel their presence. Let them know I'm real, because a lot of times people come on here and they put forth their their representation, and they just speak, for whatever personal reasons they have, or ulterior motives. Not that I'm insinuating that people have those. We all have interior motives. I'm saying it depends on what it is. But a lot of people just do what they do just because. But I feel it's important to go vibe with the people. When you sit in front of somebody and you tell them your story, and you talk, you look them in the eye, and you break bread, then it becomes a whole different relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for me to do that. On the last trip I took, I went to Louisiana and build with a brother, and he and his wife invited me to Louisiana, and they were the perfect host. Put me up in a beautiful hotel, and invited me to their home. They took care of me, and that's what we are supposed to do. And we handled business. Then from there I went to Memphis, and from Memphis I went to Nashville, broke, sat down and built with two sisters, and I came back east, to New York. The point I'm making is that yes, we have to do, because just think about it this way. I put in my mind like the internet don't exist. And I'm always asking myself, well, how did our ancestors do things? Well, they had to travel, you know what I'm saying? And they had to go meet brothers and sisters and build. All right. So I'm not just I'm using the internet as a form of connection. But in order to build a relationship, I love to go sit with brothers and sisters and let them get to know me the same way I want to get to know them, because I want to see past the flesh. I want to deal with the spirit. I want to deal with the intent of the man or the woman. Hey, you there, bro? Well, I hope we didn't lose the host now. I may have to just take over the whole show. Hey, Chief Holiday, you there?
Yeah, man, I couldn't even hear nothing for a second. You there?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, I think we have. Hey, man, yeah, that's what's up. Um, and I kind of wanted to get into what we were talking about earlier. Um, so we have been talking about the first America First. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the America First conference that we're doing in October.
Hmm.
Um, they publicly invite the brother um, to be involved in the conference that we have out here in Las Vegas in October. It's gonna be
Hmm.
October 10th through the 12th, 2020 coming up this year. You know what I'm saying? So we're planning for that or whatever. As a marketing strategy, right, for the conference, as well as to connect with our people, we have came up with a America tour, right, North America tour, right.
Hmm.
And in this tour, we're gonna go city to city, doing radio promo, retail, uh, mom and pops, corner, wherever we're gonna, what I'm saying, we're gonna be connected to wherever. In every city, every coast, every community is different. So
Hmm.
gonna be different things going on, obviously in different cities. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we're gonna be announcing that tour real soon, y'all. The itinerary will be up and some of the dates and things. We've already talked about kicking off the tour here in Las Vegas, December 31st, New Year's Eve, whenever, and then going from there. But the whole concept is, like you're saying, is connecting with the people,
Hmm.
with the council members in different cities, the different leaders in different cities and things that they got going on there. Everything is unique. So they once again they can connect with us as YouTube personalities or people that hear, they spend a lot of their time, listening to us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, well, I can connect with this guy, whatever. But also, having real tangible things that we are presenting to the community that could change their circumstance. So
Hmm.
that's what the tour is about. It's America First, Peace and Prosperity America Tour, right? Going around America, man. Like I said, we're doing radio promos, we're doing anything that we could do to expose our community, expose Americans to this information, and that's really
Hmm.
what it's about. And not pushing any, just a more of a cultural um, awareness uprising. You know what I'm saying, around the country, and that's just
Hmm.
kind of what it is. Then come back in October, um, and just be a part of. It's gonna be one of the largest gatherings of our kind of people. You know what I'm saying, which is the American Aborigines. You know what I'm saying, in this type of culture in American history. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's October, right? So I think, um, between now and October, you know, that we have been able to expose even more people to not only tracing their lineage, tracing their heritage, right?
Hmm.
But then becoming aware of those circumstances, right? And becoming prosperous, right? This information creates peace and prosperity. So when you go a lot of places by yourself. You don't have security, none of this, bro. So speak on how this information creates peace amongst our people, brother.
Yeah, well, for me, when it comes to the security aspect, you know, I'm a spirit man first. So I really don't go anywhere by myself. I have millions, if not billions, of ancestors, that's with me. So for one, I don't have anything to be afraid of because I know that, the physical body you see is not me. So if someone or something, were to happen and, I were to, run into some unfortunate demise, then it is what it is. It doesn't mean that I'm being callous. It doesn't mean that, but my philosophy is, you know, you could take away the flesh, but you can't take away the man is immortal. You know what I'm saying? So I know within me I'm a deity. And a lot of times people look at that as ego. I say no, it's not ego. I just know myself. Know thyself. That's what it's all about. So when I travel with my ancestors. All right. But when I get wherever I gotta go, whoever is hosting me, then they make sure I'm okay when it comes to that. But once we are taking things to a different level, I definitely have my security team. I mean, I already have that in place. But when I travel to certain places, that's why I don't announce it just for security purposes. You know what I mean? Because I still have a lot of work to do. So I'm not gonna be careless. You see what I'm saying? But when I get where I gotta go, then I'll do a video. Hey, I'm here, I'm there, and then nobody would know what's the next location until I get there. You feel me? But again, it's important that we connect, with the people, and of course, security is a factor because believe it or not, in this day and age, or anytime you look in history, all right, anytime you look at an individual or individuals who are looking to enlighten, their people, okay, and free the minds of the people, then we see what happened to this, to the people. So, of course, we have to have security when the time is right. Even once we start doing on those tours, I mean, we gotta have security. I mean, it's imperative. So yeah, we got to put that in place. But for now, I move solo, and like I said, I don't pre-announce, just for that reason. When I get there, if I do a video, I do that. Nobody know the hotel or the home I'm gonna be in. So once I'm done, I go where I gotta go and I come back, to New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I definitely understand that, man. So, um, unfortunately, man, I kind of wanted to touch on something. 'Cause a lot of times, you get a lot of different people coming into the community. They only hear second, third hand information. They don't know the history of a thing, right? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Now there's a brother. Now I don't know the exact situation that happened or whatever with the brother, and I don't even think that's the point is right. Um, the brother Hemok, right?
mm,
To him, like I said, I don't know the situation or whatever, right? I've never met him. I think I've seen a couple of videos, interviews that he's done. stuff like that or whatever, right? But I do remember when the situation happened, right? You were the person to expose it, and now it's kind of now in 2019 going into 20, it's like people are trying to connect you to this guy. And just a lot of negative things that's going on, man. I've seen that you've been handling it like a gentleman and just doing your work. And that's kind of we want to keep everything positive as well. But I definitely want you to address the HEMA thing, other than just kind of school some of the people that don't may not know who you are, just hearing some negative things about you, just kind of clear that up.
I mean, when it comes to that, brother, I mean, honestly, personally, I'm not gonna say too much on that, because for me, I don't cast my pearls to swines. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody. Like I said, I'm on a whole different frequency, vibing on a whole different level. And people who are dealing in their low chakras, they tend to gravitate to negativity. You feel what I'm saying? For those who know me and know what I do and what I've done, then they know all that stuff. They already know it. People who are just coming into this game, they have to show their respect for people who have walked that walk. When I first started telling our people that we were the Amerindians, I didn't even use the term American Indian because when I grew up in Dominica, and when I was in school, when I was in high school, they never taught me slave ship or slaves from Africa. We were always taught that we were Amerindians. Okay, Amerindians is literally American Indian put together. All right, hence they call us the West Indians. I'm a West Indian, an Indian from the West. So I'm an original Dandada. You see what I'm saying? So when the haters keep talking, I just let them talk, but not trying to divert. Let me just come back just to make my point. All right. When that whole situation happened, it was just like another brother, like you, like Dane, like anybody who was out there giving information. And then I was like, wow, you know what? That information sounds kind of good. The same way, I don't know how we connect, whether you reached out or I reached out. The point is we linked up. You know what I'm saying? I interviewed the man. The information was on point. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a difference between the message and the messenger. It doesn't mean that the message is not valuable, but sometimes the messenger, okay, doesn't match the action of the message. And that was just what the situation was. All right. The information was on point. I interviewed the gentleman. Okay. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, man. I need an ID. You know what I'm saying? But I realized things wasn't coherent. You feel me? The things that was being promised to the people, okay, it wasn't forthcoming. And that didn't sit well with me. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm a man of transparency. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you say you're going to do it within a certain time, do it because that's your word. You feel me? But because of the situation and the atmosphere, I said, nah, man, I got to take that to the people. So I exposed it. It was that simple because I'm not going to know that something is happening to my people I'm not comfortable with and not talk about it. I don't care what the risks are. My thing is I'm going to continue to walk in the light. It's that simple. So I exposed it. You know what I mean? It was exposed. And then I got a phone call, threatening my life. Well, if you don't take this down, we know where you are in Brooklyn. We're going to come get you, whatever, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay, boom. Do what you got to do. You know where I live at. Just know that when you come to Brooklyn and look for me, just know how we do in Brooklyn. That's all I said. And I'm like, I'm not taking the video down. And I left the video up for an entire year, okay, until people got the message. You feel what I'm saying? And then I did my meditation and says to say, okay, you know what, Chief? That was a period in your life where you went, you had an experience, okay? It didn't turn out too good, all right? You let it go. It only cost me about $150. You feel what I'm saying? For 2 IDs. So it was no big deal to me. You feel me? What really bothered me was the fact that a lot of people got put onto that information through my channel. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, it was just another interview, like you interviewing me right now, and I came with some pertinent information, all right? And behind the information is legit. But me, I'm not doing the right thing, and you go tell the world. It's the same thing. And I just let that go, bro. And then, I got another call, I got 2 calls, all right? One where I had it on video, and another one was an email threatening my life if I don't take the video down. But I only took it down when I felt comfortable. I wanted to make 2 points, okay? You're not gonna scare me. That's number one. Okay? I'm not afraid of no man. Period. And number two, I'm gonna make sure that people know what's going on. So when I felt everything was cool, left it alone, took the video down. I still got the copy of the threat. You know what I'm saying? I took that down and I just moved forward, brother. That was that. That was that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Hey, yeah, I want to definitely switch gears away from that because I that's a lot of times, like I said, people like, a man, they only say been around 2 weeks and not know, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
just you to clear it up for yourself. And, we don't, like I said, it wasn't about you cleared up far as you supported the brother, right? And from my understanding, it was like $75 ID or something like that or whatever. So it wasn't like you told somebody to do something that you wasn't physically had done. Once again, it goes back to that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with those type of guys though is like it makes it hard for people that really are builders, right? We say support the real, support people that really building, right? But it'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh man, if I because that's happened over there, we heard about this happen over here. Yeah, we don't want to support this because you know it's gonna it might not work out too good, or you know what I'm saying? They might run off with the church's money or whatever, right? Um, yeah, I just always think that's interesting. But I know one thing I do right for like yourself or even Dane or anybody that has commercials, right? I watch the whole commercial sometimes. I know that might not make a whole bunch of sense, but it's me supporting the
Mm-hmm.
channel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even sometimes, if it's a live, the commercial come on, I watch the commercial for if it's two commercials for two,
Right.
whatever. It's not costing me anything,
Right.
but helping put some, you know, towards your time and things that you're doing to help, real people that you support go to the next level with this real information. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So we're talking, like I said, switching gears, talking about building, right? Tours about building. And you're going to these different places. When we're going to these different places, we're not going at the photo ops, we're going there to build relationships, to build the council that we already are organizing, yeah. So we're
Mm-hmm.
organized for political bases around the country. So brothers like myself, brothers like Chief Kalanago, Thompson is one, the Aboriginal Power Jaguar, any brothers and sisters that want to be a part of what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? Even when we come to your city, we're linking up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. It's about connection, and like I said, we say we're going to organize and we're going to mobilize. The tour is about mobilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So us coming palms up, meaning in peace, to come help as leaders, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're coming to be servants, not become to be served in your community. We come to serve you in your community. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's what the tour is about, y'all. It's America First, Peace and Prosperity Tour. Um, and we talked about how does this work in real life, right? Well, we talked about confident power. We talked about what our brothers and sisters are doing in Watts when it comes to the truths that happens on the ground with the brothers and sisters that are so-called in these street organizations, aka gangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're in like you're in Chicago, you're and just about everybody that you're meeting a lot of so-called gangsters, or people in the streets, right? When you're doing your work in the streets. Once again, we're talking about peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody knowing who they are and who their ancestors are, who their ancestors told them that they were, connecting to that. For me, I see that it creates peace amongst even if we're tribal people. That's what the gang stuff is, the tribalism stuff. But for me, it brings peace. So can you speak on your interactions with so-called gangsters
Mm-hmm.
in the
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you would bring that up because in my travels and dealing with anybody, whether it is the most subtle being or the most aggressive, which would be considered a gangster, so to speak. What I've noticed is when I talk to brothers like that, And even when I mean literally, man, because wherever I go, I'm always in my indigenous attire. I always got my feathers. And man, the amazing thing is these so-called, aggressive men, which are deemed gangsters, men, they show respect. You know what I mean? They show respect. It's like, hey, hey, what's up, chief? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't even know me, but they just see the feathers. So apparently they know the association with feathers and what it means to be indigenous. And sometimes, conversations are sparked up and, we talk about, they tell me what tribes they're from. Like, hey, my grandmother told me this, and you would see them get so excited. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right, man. Going back to the foundation of who we are, I think it's a great tool to bring truce, okay, between certain groups. Now, we also have to keep in mind, all right, we cannot be naive. We have to realize that even if we have the same destination, so to speak, okay, because we are all being oppressed, all right? So even if we all have the same destination, what a lot of people may not be cognizant of is that it doesn't necessarily mean we have to be in the same mode of transportation because everybody wants to be on the same bus. Everybody wants to be in the same car. And that may not always be the case because people have different energies, level of vibrations in their experience. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm seeing these things from a higher perspective because I move in the spirit. I move only when the spirit tells the flesh to move. So that's how I see things. So I always look at it from a spiritual perspective. So sometimes there are people who are not vibrating that high. We cannot afford to force everybody into a bus with people that's vibrating on a low frequency. It doesn't mean that these people don't have a purpose. It just means that, you know what, sometimes we may have to isolate ourselves, but be on the same road, so to speak. We have the same destination, okay? Because take for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. If the destination is California, I'm just saying, all right? If the destination is California and we all want to get to California, all right? Some people may fly, some people may take a car, some people may take a truck, some people may take a bike, some people may walk, some people may run, some people may be on a wheelchair, okay? Some people may even swim. The point I'm making is because we are taking a different mode of transportation, we don't have to be enemies. We don't have to slander each other. You see what I'm saying? You could still be in your car, in your conveyance, and I be in mine, and we still get to California again. But we are missing the whole point of getting to the destination. In other words, let's focus on what we have in common, opposed to our differences. And that's what the majority of people are doing. They are focusing on differences opposed to what bring us together. So to kind of like fall back on what you're talking about with the gangs, that's what I see. Okay. For some reason, when they start talking about Indians and indigenous, all of a sudden I see that little child come out. And I'm like, damn, if only I could go all over and let our warriors in the hood who call themselves gangsters know who they are. Man, we would be in a beautiful place.
Yeah, man. I tell people, man, that's the actual sleeping giant across America. It's changed the whole focus. Even if you get back to the origin of why any of these organizations were started, it was for the security of their community,
Hmm.
right? For them to gain a manhood back. And you know what I'm saying? And these are the most manly men that we have in America, period. Like, 'cause these are warriors. A lot of them have a lot of training as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So for us, um, like I said, I mean, that's just a part of it, man. We have to talk peace. You know, real men can talk peace. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, a real man can say, "Hey, brother, my bad, I stepped on your toe." You know what I'm saying? My bad. You know, my father, can we talk about this? You know, or let's go have a drink about it. You know what I'm saying? Or here's a
Mm.
peace pipe. You know what I'm saying? And um, I, you said, like they turn into children. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mm.
that's learning information or tapping back into information, tapping,
Mm.
letting a person know that Chicago, their ancestors, our ancestors are from Chicago or from this land. They didn't bring you there. Like we've
Mm.
always been here in the Americas, right?
Mm.
That information is revolutionary. Once you hear this, you have to do better.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to defend the land that you're standing on. You look at these blocks differently. Like your
Hmm.
ancestors created this. So I think that's a very, 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 very important. And once again, connecting to the people across America, you know what I'm saying, and giving these vibrations, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Speaking
man.
of
I
high
mean,
vibe, Jazzy Zy Fox,
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
saying?
even in Brooklyn, man, when I'm in the park, doing calisthenics, and you have all these different gangs, what I'm saying, that's in the park playing ball, and they hard, what I'm saying, they hard because that's just the type of environment that they put us in to be hard. You know what I mean? But when I step into the park, what I'm saying, with my feathers and whatever, man, it's like everybody's just chill. It's no threat. Everybody come and give a hug and give a pound, and what I'm saying, like I said, it's a beautiful thing, man. And a lot of them want to know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Tell me about the feather. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they see me working out in my feathers, and they would come and ask me. And then the feathers is always, man, a tool of or a point of conversation. It is so not threatening. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that it makes you look like a punk. It doesn't mean that. But just having the feathers to me just bring a sense of calm. All right. And you're not threatening to people. So it's easy for people to approach you and ask questions. Or even when you approach them, you know what I mean? Don't matter where you at. A brother ain't gonna look at you like, yo, what's up, son? You know what I mean? Nah, none of that. Even when you come in a feather, you see what I'm saying? Because again, the feather, man, it just speaks volumes, man. And I know the significance of again, just walking around, with the feathers. I could tell people what it means to me. It brings balance. It brings flight. You know what I'm saying? It brings, just an overwhelming, feeling of peace. For me, that's what it is. So whenever I travel, man, I no matter where I'm at, I got my feathers, brother. Even if I'm taking the garbage out, I got my feathers on. It's part of me. Being an American Aborigine is more than just saying it. Okay, it's about being it, because the word became flesh. And if you could only speak the word and you can manifest the word with flesh, then you are just talking. You see what I'm saying? So my words have become my actions, and my actions have become who I am. So they're definitely an integrate part of my being. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely, man. I had seen a couple weeks ago you had posted a video of you did an unboxing for Miss Mohawk at Original Tribal Wear. So go check out Miss Mohawk at Original Tribal Wear, y'all.
Yeah.
And it was, you were so excited. Now you've been rocking feathers and things for years, but you ordered something from the sister and you were getting your box, and it was like Christmas Day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a couple months back, but it was like Christmas in October for you, right? And it was
Word.
so dope. You know what I'm saying? Your reaction and everything, and feathers and things that you got from Miss Mohawk. Um, it just goes back to what you're saying about the importance of imagery.
Hmm.
Us connecting our people to their culture, to their heritage. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
once again, yeah, this is what this tour is about. It's about connecting, branding. You know, it's not even about a lecture, tour, or anything. You know what I'm saying? Just really
Hmm.
about connecting to our people. And for me, I want to see mounds and pyramids and things and structures that our ancestors built that I looked past the last time I was in in Albuquerque or Phoenix or even California. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the things differently now because I have a different understanding now. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? As
Hmm.
well to be able to connect to the, the indigenous people that are holding those communities down. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? And then bringing this conversation of peace and prosperity to the community, y'all. So this
Hmm.
is the whole mission, of being on YouTube and say, oh, we're gonna create these personalities, right? But then that's it. No, like we
Right.
got we got to build infrastructure, institutions, with these personalities. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it's really about, y'all. It's really about the work. Um, you know, like we could talk. Y'all know we be on for hours. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
talking and being able to do all those things is great. But now people are asking questions like, okay, well, where are the work?
Yeah.
And you say, okay, well, got you. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's one of the main reasons why I decided to, hit the streets and do the work. It's like I said, is there's nothing wrong in talking. It's okay. But at what point are your words once again going to become flesh? And the doing is equivalent to flesh, matter. You know what I'm saying? Your words only matter when it becomes physical, when it manifests. So for me, just knowing that, it was imperative that I get out there and start doing, as opposed to just be a YouTube personnel, just on there, putting information out. Of course, which is important as well. Talking about, Miss Mohawk and our sister with her tribal wear. Yeah, I mean, that was an honest moment for me, like pretty much all my moments. You know what I mean? I was excited for a couple of reasons because one, I was supporting my own. You know what I mean? That just meant so much to me. Like, I'm not getting a package from an Asian, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting a package from an Arab or an African. I'm getting a package from my own. You know what I'm saying? That she have her brand on, you know? And man, like I said, that was just a moment for me. It was real, and that's how I want us to feel when it comes to supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to support a brother or a sister and see them succeed. You see what I'm saying? Because too many of us hinder our own growth because we want to stagnate somebody else from being successful, not realizing whatever you put in the universe, that's what you're going to get. You see what I'm saying? So by you putting that negative energy out there to prevent me from being successful, guess what? Whatever you sow, that's what you're gonna rip. People don't realize that. We set up our own judgment. We set up our own karma. There's no sky daddy looking down judging us. No, you are your own judge. And exactly what you put in the universe, that's what it's gonna give you. So when you see your life is in disarray or in chaos, man, stop blaming the devil. You are the devil. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, you could be God. So you decide what you want to manifest. You feel me? So I'm saying all that to say, brother, I love to see my brothers and sisters succeed. Okay? I'm not gonna look at it as you got more than me. No, I don't look at it that way. The more you have, I'm gonna keep supporting you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta do. You put your right hand out, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you my left hand. And that's just my principle, man. You know what I mean? It's literally time for us to really start supporting each other and doing for our own because every other ethnic group, they're able to practice group economics. You know what I mean? And we are falling behind. A lot of people don't realize that, they've been talking about this one world government. Man, listen, this thing been happening. You know what I'm saying? There's only the federal government is literally worldwide. You see what I'm saying? And it's all about commerce. And we don't have a seat at the table because we are so busy fighting each other. You see what I'm saying? So we need to have a seat at the table in that commercial world. And that's why I do what I do, man. You know what I mean? I love it because I want to see our people do better.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Original Tribal Wear, man. Miss Mohawk. That's originaltribalwear.com right now. The special is about purchase anything and get a free T-shirt. So yeah, really, and go support the sister's business, man. I tell people, man, instead of spending Gucci money, this so-called Christmas, um, with Gucci, go spend Gucci money, Prada money, Fendi money with Miss Mohawk, as well as Walk Like a Guy. We got AmericanAboriginalShoes.com. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? This is building like infrastructure.
Hmm.
Like you want to go look in your closet and only see things that come from our people. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And help
Hmm.
build structure from us. So yeah, man, that was definitely a dope unboxing. You know what I'm saying? As you were giving, you know what I'm saying, what was symbolic about it, you received at the same time. So I thought that was dope. Like I said, salute to Miss Mohawk and originaltribalwear.com. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's even right now starting her business. She's still trying to give back. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
okay, anything with me. right? And I give you something. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
ah,
I mean,
sheesh.
it's a beautiful feeling, brother. As a matter of fact, I just received a package from her today with my, Annie and Weir shirt. So I'm definitely going to be rocking that soon. So I'm thankful for that. But here's another thing that I think we as a collective, we need to focus on. All right, is the fact that we have to step up. I mean, yes, supporting each other, business wise, economically is great, right? But a lot of our brothers and sisters, are going through a lot of legal persecution right now. So we definitely have to step up and step into the political arena because once again, we don't have a voice. You know what I mean? So we have such a long way to go. My question is, why are we focused on all the things that are irrelevant to our growth? You know what I'm saying? Why are we focused on that? So getting into that political arena, man, we definitely need to. We need to because imagery is very important. A picture tells 1,000 or speaks 1,000 words, right? And is forgive me for just kind of like jumping to another topic because something came to mind. I just want to keep flowing with it because this wasn't scripted, right? But a lot of times when our people as American Aboriginals, the original American Indians, when they post, images of American Indians, we always see natives. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, you would never see me post anything pertaining to American Indians and you're going to see a picture of a native. You would never see that because that was how this whole thing was changed around. It was about imagery. If I could give you a picture and paint it in your mind that that's what these people look like, okay, through the information being redundant, okay, through promotion, propaganda, that's what's going to stick into people's minds and it's going to become a reality. So even within our own people, when you speak of American Indians, even if they know their grandmothers say they were Indians, in their mind, they are still seeing a native. So we have to change that. We have to change the image of what the American Indian look like. So I don't care if you have to put yourself up in feathers. And when you speak of American Indians, put your picture. Put your picture. Put your mom picture. Put your dad picture. Put a cousin's picture. Because now you are speaking 1,000 words just with one picture. Imagine you put up 10 pictures. That's 10,000 words. You see what I'm saying? It speaks volumes. So we need to stop posting things like typical example, right? There's a meme that goes around that says, with some natives, and it says Homeland Security since 1942. I would never put that picture up because those are not my ancestors. They were not here in 1492. So why am I promoting that? So you see what we are planting in the minds of the people subliminally without knowing that we are constantly putting ourselves in the position where people are calling us Africans when we are not, because we ourselves are promoting the natives or the Indians as the natives. I'm not sure if you have seen that, but brother, we got to change that, man. We got to stop doing that. We have to.
You know what's so crazy, right? Just to give it a kind of a example of what you're saying, add on what you're saying, right? In Australia, right? The
Mm,
southern Australia means southern land, right?
mm,
Australia, southern people, right? So we're
mm,
gonna get back to that. But the imagery that we see in the media, right, is of the blonde heroines that are, you can tell they're, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
These are the Aborigines over here, right?
mm.
Right? But that's really not the Aborigines of the land.
Right.
People that are actual the Aborigines of Australia, right? Or they consider themselves black fellas. You
Mm,
see, you be like, dang, that's my cousin Leroy, or y'all understand what I'm saying? They don't
mm,
show them. Y'all understand what I'm saying? These people
mm,
are in prison. They are marginalized more than you would ever think. They're not hiring these people. They're not doing anything. The people that they're showing you that they're even still treating like shit
mm.
are. There's a book called Rabbit Proof Fence. Please read it. The movie's okay, but the book gets into detail of what these people did in Australia in the 1800s, going into the 1900s, right?
Mm,
But guess what? Guess where they got it from? This whole concept of bleaching out the children and taking the Indian out of, taking the Negro, taking the Indian, right?
mm,
Out, Negro, Indian, out, interchangeable words, taking the indigenous out of the child, right?
mm,
They got that from America first.
mm.
So they were already here doing this, you know what I'm saying, prior to them even finding Australia. So when we
Yeah.
talk about Aborigines, we are the American Aborigines, right? And who they have socially, politically, economically bleached us out of existence.
Mm,
We're the ancestors are speaking through us. We're waking up the people. That's how important this tour is. That's how important this conference is. That's how much this important piece is
mm,
to the future of our people, to the future of America, man.
mm,
So
mm.
that's what we're doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, just to say, man, just salute to you, man, and the work that you're doing. Um, it's just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that you were just saying something about the natives, right? They've always putting the depiction of the natives out there, right? I just
Mm.
think at this point, if you are falling for Hollywood depictions of the people of the land at this point, right, then
Mm,
you believe that when you watch Gods of Egypt, right,
mm,
that Christian fucking Bale is fucking Haru.
mm,
We're done here. I'm done. You believe that Elizabeth Taylor, like y'all still believe this dumb shit in 2020, right? That these people are literally the indigenous people or the original people of this land.
mm,
So it's the same concept here. So when you see it, it should be offensive,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So when you call, so when you call the Cherokee Nation or whatever, man. Before I get into the conversation, I just want to know what was you thinking about, like the first time you called a brother. Like, I know you go by Anuaia, and obviously that's that comes from the Cherokee. Turn to the Cherokee. So can I explain that part right there? Because I don't know if anybody's explained that yet, bro. And and then get into why the hell did you call these people, bro?
Well, a couple of things, right? Cherokee and Anianwea, they say it's interchangeable, but the truth of the matter is it's not. Okay, Anianwea is the principal people, the leading people, the original people, the Aboriginals. And Cherokee is an organization that was created, okay, and they went through the whole process of the Trail of Tears. And in 1899 to 1906, a period of 7 years, they had 7 years to create a whole new organization in a whole new territory. So Oklahoma was set up just for that purpose, to give the Cherokee a home, because the Cherokee didn't have a home, because the Cherokee people didn't exist. It was the Anianwea, which is the original people, the principal people, our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So when they did the whole Trail of Tears, Oklahoma had no Anianwea people. All those people was from Georgia, West Virginia, North and South Carolina, and a few other places. But there were no so-called Cherokees in Oklahoma. But however, Oklahoma was proportioned just for that purpose, to create a home so that they could give their narrative more credence, more validity. All right, so they created Oklahoma and said, well, you know what? That's going to be Indian Territory, the home of the Cherokee, which is only a federal organization. So people have to know that. We have to get away from calling ourselves Cherokee, because that's not us. Okay? That's not us. You feel me? So treaties that the treaties, the original treaties, I am almost certain didn't have Cherokee, but it's only when it was ratified and they created new treaties, okay, to work with the federal government, they started calling themselves Cherokee. So it became an organization that deals with citizenship only through application and not by blood, not by blood quantum. All right. So even if our ancestors were here, as long as you didn't get on the doors rows, then you cannot become part of that organization. Now, what led me to call these people was, I mean, it was a long time coming anyway, because it was something that was bothering my spirit, because I was doing so much research on these people to the point where I knew exactly where the chief was from. I knew how much blood he had in him. I knew how much percentage of Indian, and the rest was just straight out pale man. So I did an extensive research. And I was just waiting for the right time. But a lot of people was calling me and they're like, Chief, you know what? Man, I'm calling the Cherokee Nation and I'm showing them all these documents. Even my people on the doors rose and they don't want to let us in. So I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it. All right. So one day, man, I was just meditating, asking the ancestors to use me as a vessel and just give me the right moment to call. And then this sister called me and told me what happened. And it just infuriated me so much that literally, man, the spirit of the ancestors just took over me, bro. And I just called. And the rest was history, man.
Yeah, man, it was an interesting conversation, man. What was crazy to me that stood out to everything that the disrespect level was crazy. Like for me, I don't know if I could have took it like to the disrespect to get the interview done because I'd have been talking crazy to him, right? Because that's how disrespectful he was. But the answer
Mm-hmm,
had you was very, you know, calm, even minded, even till, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, to get the information to our people so they can actually see this dumbass food, right?
mm-hmm,
Food said some shit that was crazy to me, right? Because they believe this is what they believe, y'all. They believe that that he had a dark grandmother, right? That
mm-hmm,
he has dark ancestors because his white ancestors visited the slave quarters. Y'all follow me?
mm-hmm,
Everybody follow? We all good? Okay. That the mestizo. I'm sorry, excuse me, y'all. The mestizo, right? Which means a mixed person. He's a mixed person. He's mixed with the original people, which is his grandmother, right?
mm-hmm,
And the pale man who invaded, who created his ass. However, they was created through marriage, through sneaking somewhere, right? And because even if the people are enslaved, that doesn't mean they came from Africa, dumbasses. So that's how stupid he is, right? But he believes in the caste system. He's upholding the caste system, the fool that you were talking to, right? Who was disrespectful, but then turned around and said that his ancestors, right, were brown,
mm-hmm.
right? The dark precedes y'all the light. There's a rational reason why they're light. It's because the dark people, however reason they were mixed, were mixed with the pale man who came here from Europe. This is not rocket science. So when he was
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful, right? So these are the reasons why we have to have interfaces with these people. One, for us to put them in their place, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we want everybody to know who the fuck we are. So we are the
Right.
first Americans. That's the whole first American agenda is what we're doing. We have also have what is called the numbers, right? So we don't have to go join them. We just have to wake up our people. We have a bigger, stronger, more organized tribe than they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's just nations than they have. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, getting those nations to wake up, what we say is nation time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting those nations to see that we have to work together, separately, but have a collective mind frame that we're not upholding other people's communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Detriment of our communities, where we're literally in a social, political, economic enslavement right now, and that's a problem that we're having that we're changing with with the reconnection of people back to this land. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Mm-hmm.
important. So yeah, so that's crazy, man. Like I just saying the conversation that he was having, is extra crazy to me, man. Was there anything that you didn't get to say to him that you would wanted to have said to him? You know,
Well,
right.
here's the thing. For me, the conversation went as planned because, like I said, I asked my ancestors to use me as a vessel. You know what I'm saying? So I don't deal with this situation, in my lower self. You know what I mean? So that's why I was able to stay calm. And even when I felt, me dropping into my lower self and wanting to pull him through the phone, I was like, nah, I got to make sure that I pull out of him what needs to be heard. And the nail in the coffin was when I got you to the point where you admitting with your own mouth that your grandmother, if she permed her hair, she would look like a black woman in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like, come on, man. That's prima facie evidence that when we bring our claim, I'm gonna use that in court because For one, I let you know it was on record. I told you that was for the record. And that's the reason why I did that. You did? That's why I did that. Because I know when we bring our claim, that's gonna be part of the claim. Because we're gonna use that as prima facie evidence. You know what I'm saying? You stated that your grandmother was a black, literally a so-called black woman. So how are you gonna tell me you're the original people? I mean, that's insane. So I think it went exactly the way it was supposed to go. And I was very much pleased, so, give thanks and praise to the ancestors for that.
So here's the thing, right? A lot of times people say, well, why are you guys talking about pyramids, talking about mummies, talking about bones, right? Talking science, right? Things that people use to identify people all around the world. Well, guess what? The oldest bones, right? Not only the oldest, y'all, but 2,000-year-old bones. Like they have bones in America that are 2,000 years old, y'all. And they are of Negro, okay? They got bones that are 7,000 years old. These people are of what they are considering based off of, listen, y'all, based off of cranial measurement, based off of hip measurements, leg measurements, arm measurements. Hey, these are brown people, okay?
Hmm.
Just off of logic, off of everything that's going on, right? With the science that we have on our side, all the evidence that Dr. David Imhotep said that we had to have, who we interviewed by the way twice, says that we had to have evidence. We literally have evidence that we are. Oh, by the way, they're comparing those measurements to us. By the way, that's how they know who they are. And that's how we can scientifically connect ourselves without a shadow of doubt to the indigenous people of this land
Hmm.
who came first before a mixed person. That's dumb. I don't even know how we still had this conversation, y'all, in 2020. I don't even know how we have a conversation where a mixed person is telling you he's full blooded. That's dumb.
Right.
Okay? That
Hmm.
doesn't make any sense. That's just a dumb conversation. And I can't have it no more. Like for me, I can't have it. So I don't. I put people in their place. If you're talking from a righteous conversation, we never have to have this conversation. You know who your ancestors are, and you come in and you know who the pale man is. And if you're that's just what it is. So if you're honoring the Germans, the French, the Spanish, and everybody else who came here, then that's an issue that you're having with your ancestors who are indigenous to this land. That's the problem that we having. That's the
Hmm.
only problem that we having, right?
Hmm.
That would be the only problem. So if the so-called Cherokee Nation said, you know what, instead of us going in the direction of the European, which clearly they are, just like the Blackfoot, just like the Choctaw, just like any other ones, they go in the direction of the European, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Like this, that's not of our land. So we
Right.
understand where that comes from.
Right.
So if these people in the so-called Cherokee nations and everybody else, right, who want to follow the invaders, right, which is not American, right, follow the invaders' way, then they're against the American way. We
Hmm.
are Americans. Y'all follow where we're going with this?
Yeah.
We are pushing the best interests of America, which goes along with the Constitution of America,
Hmm.
which our ancestors wrote.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, brother, can you get into that a little bit? You're heavy into that. We want to get the people a little something, man. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? We're gonna it's a quick little interview, y'all, but we want to get the people just a little something, man, of Chief Kalanago, man, with how he breaks this thing down, y'all.
Well, here's the thing, right? So we have to. It is a complex, situation, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. All right, a lot has transpired, without a lot of our people, you know what I mean, or anybody in general, having the grand scope of what really took place. You know what I mean? Even when we look at the word indigenous, I'm gonna tell you something you may or you may not know. The truth of the matter is they are indigenous. Okay? Did you know that?
Oh yeah, of course. They
Okay.
are halfway indigenous. So yeah, of course.
All right. So they are indigenous. Okay. Because I'll tell you why. All right. When you look at UNDRIP, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, the term indigenous is very ambiguous, meaning that, it doesn't have a definitive meaning. Okay, they said that everyone have a right to self-identify, so it's left to the individual, all right, to decide if you are indigenous or not. So to me, that's vague. So you are still living a wide gap or an open room for people who are not aboriginals. You see what I'm saying? To say that they are indigenous to this land. Now here's the trick. What does indigenous really means? Indigenous means born or original. So you see how they are indigenous. Because a native is indigenous. Because all a native means is to be born. So therefore, indigenous means born or original. So they are indigenous because they were born. However, we are indigenous because we were born and original. This is where we draw the distinction. We are indigenous, they are indigenous, but they are not aboriginals. That is the difference. Okay, so we cannot just leave it as well, we indigenous. No, because they could make that claim. Because all indigenous means is to be born or original, and all born means is to be native. So you see, they are playing the word game, semantics. So when they say native, yes, they are native. When they say they are indigenous, yes, they are indigenous. Where we catch them is they are not original, and they know this. So that has to be our claim. We cannot just go make a claim and say we're indigenous and you are not. Now we're going to lose that battle. You know what I'm saying? We have to go from the original perspective. And a lot of people may have their own personal qualms with talking about ab. Okay, well, aboriginal means away from. No, it doesn't. In Latin, okay, within international law, aboriginal, clearly means an original inhabitant of a land mass. So we are aboriginals. You see what I'm saying? So not every word we have to get technical with, because once again, within the international forum, international platform, within international law, if you're an aboriginal, then that means you are the original inhabitant of a land. That's why the Australians were able to get back their land after fighting for 37 years. They got back their land. The Lalakea tribe got back their land as being aboriginals. Even in Canada, the aboriginals are making some heavy waves. All right. It's only us that are here trying to figure our way out, getting too specific. Man, look at the law. History and law go hands in hand. If you know law, if you know history and you don't know law, you don't know history. Because it's like a hand in glove. Okay. They are a marriage. They work together. All right. So let us just focus on that and let it be known that we are the aboriginals, American aborigines. That's us, period, point blank. Nobody could take that away from us. All right. An American Indian is synonymous with American Aboriginal. You may hear people say, "Oh, well, they gave us the name American Indian." So what? The truth of the matter is, it was a general consensus for the people of this land. Okay, and we agreed to be called American Indians, and all the treaties that were written with the American Indians. So therefore, we are the posterity of those people. So therefore, we are supposed to benefit from that. So I tell people I'm proud to be an American Indian, and nobody could take that away from me. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point that out and make sure that we have a clear understanding of that. All right. Now I know I kind of expound on that a little bit, but there was something specifically that you wanted me to talk about. What was that again?
Well, so when we're talking about these terms and what's the difference between a Native American and an American Indian or an American Aborigine, right? So we're calling us the Americans, right? We're just Americans. We're not Native Americans. We're Americans, and we're going to tell you the distinction there. Like, if you look up the whole etymology of American, or even just the definition of American, it'll tell you that it's the copper colored or Aboriginal races that the European, who's pale man, found when they came here in America. Now, the second part of that doesn't matter whether or not they changed it to somebody
Right.
else or adding other people like
Mm,
Asian Americans, Greek Americans, so on and so forth, right? Nigerian Americans, Kenyan Americans,
mm,
Ghanaian Americans, right?
yeah.
All these people are Americans, since Americans, that doesn't mean that you're still not the original American. Y'all
Right, of
understand?
course.
Right. So when they created this Native American class of people in 1975, right, as buffers, as go-betweens, right? Now they've been doing these buffers and go-betweens for years, and we talked about this through the history of our stuff. Once they made it as a class of people in 1975, right, and they started creating, their own little, deals with these certain people, they're still under somebody else. They're still displaced. They're still allotted land. They're
Mhm.
still certain things have been done to these people, which put them in a lot, not all of them, right? Because some of them have better deals. Y'all get it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So a lot of us want to join that circumstance, right?
Mhm.
Right. When you're saying that you're an American Aborigine that predates that, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then also we have an American, just somebody who are Americans, obviously, who are basically creating the rules, right, for the Native Americans and everybody else. Y'all got y'all, you understand what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? This is
Wait,
something
wait,
that
wait,
we.
hold on, real quick though. My question is though, right? What the hell does it matter what we classify ourselves as if we're not getting anything for it other than nothing, right? We're not getting anything but calling ourselves American Aborigines or
Mm,
American Indians, right? We're not
mm.
getting anything for that. So yeah, break
Well,
that down. Why is it important for us?
okay, I'll tell you why. Okay, it's like asking why aren't black people getting reparations? Okay, so I'll break that down to you. Okay, um, the truth of the matter is this. Okay, we as a people, we have to once we put ourselves in a position, all right, where we have to make decisions on what we want to do. Okay, we have to make decisions on what we want to make. Everybody out here calling themselves, oh well, Italian American and Irish. No, you are not an American. You are a United States citizen, not an American. So you see, we allowing these people to get away with that. And that's a protest that we have to make. I'm not talking about going the streets and now, I'm not talking about that. But we have to start making moves towards putting in claims, all right, so that these people stop calling themselves Americans. Okay, because that's to me, that's deceitful. Okay, it's not. So they are not Americans, they are actually United States citizens. Now, to answer your question, the reason why we American Aborigines, we are not getting our what's due to us is because we are not organized, brother. Okay, we are not organized. Everything is about organization, brother. Okay, every state is an organization. The United States is an organization. The Cherokee Nation is an organization, brother. We are not organized. It's only when you are organized you are able to be respected. You feel what I'm saying? We don't have any organization. Let me ask you a question. What who steps up for us in the UN? Okay, who's stepping up for us in Washington, DC? Nobody. How many of us on radio stations talking about the Aborigines? Where is the organization at? We have a whole BET, Black Entertainment TV, and with the Aborigines, we are not sending affidavits and notices telling these people that's not who we are. And based on drip, indigenous people have a right to have a platform on BET. How many of us doing that? So we cannot blame people for our lack thereof. We have to take responsibility because we got to stop pointing the fingers and blaming people. We are not organized. Too many people fighting and everybody want to be a chief. Nobody want to be an Indian, but don't know what it takes to be a chief. And then, somebody call you chief. People, oh, well, why you a chief? No, why not? Are you doing what we're doing? Are you doing the work that I'm doing? You see what I'm saying? So once again, man, our people, brother, we got a long way to go, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, I'm not the chief of our nation because I'm controlling people. No, that's not what it means. Okay? They appointed me chief because of certain responsibilities, okay, that I have. The abilities that I have to make certain things happen. But it doesn't mean to control people. It's just a position, okay, of responsibility. But people don't get that. Okay, people looking at chief as or chieftainess to control people. Nah, that's not what it's about. So we as the people, we have to have organization. Because here's another thing people don't know, brother, is this, right? To deal in the world of commerce, and this is real talk because I know law, right? This is in commerce. In the land of commerce, you cannot deal with a living man or a living woman, brother. A flesh, blood man or a woman cannot be in commerce. So you have to create what? An organization, brother, to step up. Where is our organization at? We try to step in commerce as the man or the woman. No, it can't be that way. And somebody may say, well, Chief, prove your point. I'm going to prove my point. When you go to court, they have to get you to admit to being the capital name, okay, the juristic person, the en legis. They have to get you to say that this is who I am before they proceed, brother. If you never agree or subject yourself to being that capital name, court cannot convene because they cannot have a man or a woman in their courts. It's the same thing in the commercial world, brother. A man or a woman cannot be in commerce as themselves. So they have to create an organization and they have to control the organization and not be the organization. So unless we understand commerce and law, we come on, man, we just in the matrix. Look at the matrix again. When Neo and Morpheus and them had to go into the matrix, they had to go deal with agents. So where are our agents stepping into these agencies, brother? Brother, let me tell you something, right? I grew up playing poker. And in poker, I learned two major rules of the game in poker is this. Number one, the first rule of poker is you have to know the game. And the second rule of poker is you got to know your players. Brother, we are playing a game. We don't know the game and we don't know our players. How you expect us to win, bro?
Yeah, it's super hard, man.
I mean, brother, it's tough love, man, but I got to tell our people the truth, brother. We have to create an organization that's a corporation to step on the table of commerce, or else we're never going to get respect. How do you think nations deal with each other? You see what I'm saying? How do you think
Yeah,
nations deal with each other? Because they have to create an organization, brother. It's only when you create an organization, then you send your organization into that world to play. And all we do is manage. That's it. Be the agent. All right? That's it. That's all we got to do. But a lot of us don't get this because you know what? And I'm not mad at all people. We are not taught that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to redirect our train of thinking. We have to make a paradigm shift in our thinking and stop realizing that we are the ones that have to do it. You see, we were taught to go chase money and go work for money when the truth of the matter is successful people let money work for them. But we were taught, no, we got to be on the plantation. Brother, we don't have to be on the plantation
fact.
because the truth of the matter is this your body, all right, let me ask you a question, right? When you transition, where does your body go?
To the dirt, to the ashes.
Your body goes to the soil, right?
Yeah,
So there you go. Brother, we are the land. We are the land. Your body is the soil, the earth. We are the land. That's your estate. So when you step up, you're already stepping up as, the man or the woman who has the highest authority in the land. The only problem is you don't know how to control your estate. That's it. So as a people, we have to organize. It don't have to take a million of us. Just a handful of us who get it. Okay, create our organization and step up to the place. Now we have our organization. We want to deal with you from a corporation to a corporation. Now we sit down as the CEO, the president, the vice president, the treasurer, the this, the that. But the corporation is what's dealing in commerce. And that's what we're missing, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're not getting what's due to us because we are not organized. We have no organization. I hope that makes sense.
absolutely, man. And really going back to um, forming the first American Council, right? Um, it was like, okay, we every time that something happens to our people, right? They got to go to the NAACP. Usually,
Mm,
like the group that we have to go to, right? Which wasn't started for us and by us, right?
mm,
And it never turns out good for any of our people using the NAACP. But we still, once again, we we still turn to them when it's like we're programmed to turn to the NAACP, right?
mm,
Well, we want we have created an organization that is for our people, that comes from our people. So everybody in their community, right, who's a part of the council is the leader, leaders. You know what I'm saying? And that's the concept, of working, putting work together that's unique to your community, right? With the
mm,
brothers and sisters from outside of that jurisdiction. So if that's making sure that we get elected officials into office, or getting somebody out of office, or pushing, what I'm saying, getting the right emails to, because sometimes it's really about emails, or
mm,
just talking to the right person and knowing the right people.
mm.
What I'm saying? And so a lot of times we just think it's a racist thing when it's actually just really sometimes it be either in our people, it's a system thing.
Yeah. And,
It's
and
system.
and that's true because you see, it's disguised. Here's the thing, right? All of this is disguised as a race so that our people are kept out of the race. Brother, when you race is nothing but to see who gets there first. Okay? There's no such thing as race. All right? In terms of people, that's created. You feel me? But the race is truly about who gets to the top first. And that's what it's all about. So once we get that concept and we stop thinking that we are being treated because of the complexion of our skin, we got to stop thinking that. And you got to stop thinking the pale man is your enemy. In business, it's not personal. All right. In business, there's no complexion. You'll be surprised at the head of this chain. You'll be surprised to see the amount of people that look like us, family. You will be surprised to see the amount of people that look like us. And then you'll be like, damn, I thought you was my brother. I thought you was my sis. They'll tell you what, man, listen, you know what? It's all business. It ain't personal. Brother, we have to start thinking from a business perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't take it personal because it hurts. All right. But we have to get out of our feelings sometimes. All right. And become shrewd businessmen and women. So when we step to the table, they know we ain't playing. You feel me? But every time something happens, oh, well, it's because I'm black. You're not black. And like you
Fact.
said, how are we going to go to organizations such as NAACP and the National Action Network? We can't do that because they are dealing with what? They are dealing with civil rights, brother. All right. And we are not civilians.
That's right. So
You
here's
feel
my
what I'm
thing,
saying?
right? Here's
We
my
are not
thing, right?
civilians. So, but here's the thing, it was done strategically to put us in that position, okay, to take the place of civilians, brother. You feel me? Because here's the truth of the matter is this, all right? The civil rights movement had nothing to do with the American Aborigines at first. That it was only put in place for the so-called white cargo, the whites, the so-called white slaves, the pale slaves. That's what the civil rights was about. But our people wanted to be so much part of that system. They wanted to be integrated so much. They was like, oh shoot, here come these Indians. They want to be a part of this. Let's make the civil rights about them. But brother, it was never about us. So they put people in the likes of Jesse Jackson. You know what I'm saying? What they did was this. The American Colonization Society, all right, they created the Teachers Association. And in 1968, they coined or they brought in a term called African American. All right, it was coined in 1969. All right, but it wasn't brought back until 1988. But African American been there for the very long time. So they put it in the back burner and they say, you know what, there's gonna be a time when we gotta pull it out and make them African Americans. But before they did that, they have to make sure they taught us with roots. You know what I mean? Or no, you African with roots and all these different things. And the 12 years of slavery, they had to start the programming before they brought it back. You see what I'm saying? And then to put the nail in the coffin, what they did in 1988, they gave us House Resolution 331, where the United States have an obligation to deal with Indians from a government to government basis. So a lot of our people knew they were still Indians, but no, they were starting to get confused because you teaching me I'm a slave, but my grandmother told me I was an Indian. So what they did was, right, they brought Jesse Jackson and say, boom, Jesse, put that nail, hit that nail on the coffin. And here's another thing they did. They realized, okay, you know what? Jesse Jackson is going to do what he's going to do, but let's talk to Eddie Murphy in Hollywood, and let's give them Coming to America in 1988 as well. Brother, it's deep. You know what I'm saying? Even when Obama was president, Obama signed an exit. Well, he supported the Supreme Court, okay, to make sure that over 22 to 25 million birth certificates reflected African American, bro. Come on, the people we think that are for us, they are not for us. Civil rights has nothing to do with us, bro. We got to talk about indigenous people's rights, not civil rights. Because when you're dealing with civil rights, you're looking at it from a what? A domestic perspective. You are domesticated. You are a subject, a ward. But when you are dealing with indigenous, it becomes international. That's why they got to keep us black and African American and niggas and all that. Because they want to keep you domesticated, brother. So I hope that makes sense, man.
Super sense. A lot of facts. And yeah, man, you know, we got the smartest chat room in America, man. So they definitely hip to they definitely enjoying the bill. But, yeah, man, like bro, like it's so crazy, man, how we have been just alienated away from our power, you know, from I know, you know, people that don't understand, you know, some of the concepts that we're saying we're Americans, right? And they want to put black on it. They want to put, you know, all these different terms. I don't want to even start that stuff up, right? But the point is, right, when you leave this country, the whole world knows that we're American. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything, like they would have to ask Brad Pitt, like, wait a minute, you know, right? You know what I mean? Like they don't know, but they know just by looking at us, by talking to us, they know that we're Americans, right? Just and the world knows our history, and I just think it's crazy, you know, at this point right now with all the communication out there, whatever, everything, all the things, that information that's out there that we can get, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That people are still saying the same dumb shit though, bro. Like it's this is unbelievable to me, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Native Americans, they don't have no connection to the mound or
Mm-hmm.
to the
Right.
pyramid here in Cahokia, and you know what I'm saying, around the Americas, bro. Bro, they have evidence of people being in the Carolinas 50,000 years, bro. Like with horses, and elephants. So when they're saying certain stuff, we're like, okay, well, we have the actual science to back up what we're saying. With
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we actually have the science to back up what we're saying. So I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's weird that we're still having a conversation about us being the original people of this land. You know what I mean? They want
Mm-hmm.
to everything that some ice killed everybody, and then some people, mixed people that didn't exist, walked across the imaginary bridge and replaced all the black Indians. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
making every little trick in a book, but they have no evidence of anything they're saying. They want us to live in the same fantasy world, Harry Potter nigga science, right? That's what I call it. Shout out to my
But
brother Executive Sessions, but just, I mean, bro, like with all this evidence out there, bro, why do you think these people are still teaching this same African slave story, brother?
well, because brother, you know, it's the programming. You see what I'm saying? We live in a voluntary system. Okay. Now, I put the information out there and I teach it in schools, and you know, hey, that's what you allow your children to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like we as a people, we have to take the responsibility. Too many of our people want to turn up. Okay. Too many of our people want to take their children, you know what I'm saying, and put them in front of a TV all day in video games to raise them. You dig? We gotta do better, man. So we cannot, once again, we have to stop blaming people for the situation that we're in. Now, don't get me wrong, all right? I know it's being influenced in so many different ways. But my question to our people is this: when are we gonna take the time? When are we gonna stop blaming everybody else? I see Mexicans come here and they live 20 of them in one apartment. And then 5 years later, all 20 of them got a house. Why they're not blaming the system? Hmm? Why they're not blaming the system? I see real Africans come here and do the same thing. I see the Irish come here and do the same thing. Some of them are called trailer trash and all that. And 2 years, 3 years later, they got mansions. You know what I'm saying? We just think because, and don't get me wrong, yes, because we are the original people of the land, yes, we are owed this. Yes, don't get me wrong. But brother, we are not living or dealing with people with morals. We're dealing with people that say, I don't care if you're the original of the land. You're going to work for your stuff. You're going to do what everybody else is doing. No, I'm not saying that's moral. I'm not saying that's right. But at the end of the day, those original treaties that were signed, okay, were supposed to be with us and not with natives. So I'm always going to put the burden of proof on our people. Why aren't we stepping up to these people and not ask the question to why aren't we getting? Nobody's going to give handouts. Too many of our people looking for handouts, that welfare mentality. Okay? We can't be dealing with that welfare mentality. We have three basic essentials in life. That is to feed yourself, that is to clothe yourself, and that is to feed yourself, clothe yourself, and put a roof over your head. Three basic essentials. All right. Anybody who goes to work, that is the reason why they go to work. Why can't we do those three simple things for ourselves? Feed ourselves, do our own clothes, and what? Have our own house that we build on our own land. Brother, land is not expensive. Why do we have to be in crowded cities paying 1,000? I mean, in New York right now, in Brooklyn, bro, a one-bedroom apartment is $1,700 because our people have the mentality of trying to keep up with the Joneses. When literally you could not pay rent for 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months before they take you to court, and you could stack that money and you have 10 grand and go buy 2 acres and build your home and be rent free. But no, we are not thinking in the lines of that. We want everything handed down to us, brother. So I'm not going to be easy on our people, man. I know we have had it rough, but you know what? That's the hard knocks life, brother. We got to get away from the mentality of trying to beg these people for things. That's why I don't want to be federally recognized. I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? Nah. We're going to stand up and work and fight for what's ours. It's ours. You feel what I'm saying? Period.
Right.
You know, so somebody spoke about, the term autochthonous, just to kind of divert on that a little bit. What they have to know is this, all right? Autochthonous is the same thing. It has the same thing, native, aboriginal, indigenous. Okay? So one is not better than the next because autochthonous still mean native. You feel what I'm saying? Indigenous still mean native. So at the end of the day, man, aborigine is the most suitable term for our people. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Um, yeah, I mean, that, it's kind of from my research, when we're talking about power, right? And I
Mm,
think a whole other conversation. Um, I, I want to go into the new year, and this is my hashtag, Indians hashtag Indians non-tax 2020. You know what I mean?
mm,
And I don't want to do any fancy tricks. I just want to identify who we are, and then let these agencies know not only to not tax me. I need tax remedy, right? You understand what I'm saying? Like I need
mm,
to be rectified. There's needed to be things corrected. There's accounting. There needs to be an audit. We need to have an audit. You know how they audit us?
mm.
We need to audit them.
Yeah.
So these are the conversations that we'd be having. I know people think I'm crazy. I'm like, well, dog, y'all talking all this other shit. I'm just like, yo, they know the law. They understand that they not only have been lying, they are lying every day, not only the children and everything or whatever, but this fake IRS system and everything else. Um, I, I think that's something that's very important that needs to happen. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And it's happening in America for other groups. Um, New Year's Eve, I'm doing an event on the Indian reservation, right?
mm,
And basically the concept is they don't pay taxes to sovereign land. It's right downtown Las Vegas, right? So they don't pay taxes, and the taxes they collect for the product that they sell, right? They put
mm,
that in into their nation, into their tribe, things of that nature, right? Not only did they get the tax revenue for themselves to build this,
mm,
right? Because that's what taxes is for, to build the infrastructure of your community, right?
mm,
Okay, so they keep the taxes within their community. Okay, um, and so for me, for us, I see the same thing happening for the, just to say, the inner city, right?
mm,
So okay, you build businesses, you create businesses within this zone, right?
mm,
Right, and I don't care if y'all steal this, fight it, do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like, and the taxes that these businesses are collecting from, that they could expand their businesses, or buy cheaper, you know what I'm saying, the products, it just put into building the community up, you know what I'm
mm,
saying? So within, and now you don't have to be a part of any group, you're just in this zone, you have invested your 401k, or whatever your family's wealth into,
mm,
back into the community that you came from. However, this government, right, should be able to recognize that you're revitalizing the goddamn community, right? America, you're rebuilding America, right? That has been gutted because of the policies of these other administrations, from the Clintons to everybody, right? We know that administrations have put America in this position. Let's be clear. Like, so
mm,
I understand what nobody's talking about. So when we're talking about um, the policies of the early 1900s, you know what I'm saying, to all the way to the policies of today, they
mm,
have always affected our people, or the indigenous people of this land, harshly. So
mm,
that's the problem. So a lot of times when they're talking about indigenous people attached to the UNDRIP and the ADRIP, a lot of times we don't see ourselves in that conversation. So that's
mm,
why, shout out to Lieberson, that we wrote the Declaration of Reclamation to specifically address the needs of our people. Y'all
mm,
understand? And so, as Americans, right, to uplift and to wake our people up, these declarations, these organizations, these institutions, and organizing these institutions is the most important work that we should be doing in this community.
mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro. So, and that's the concept that we're talking about. Everything that we're doing, even if we're online forever, right? That we're building a network.
mm,
It's gonna be 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So we have all these different, content. We have to have a place for content providers, just in case YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all these, just Google in general say, we cool on y'all.
right.
You feel me? You're gonna do your own thing. So
Mm,
we working on our own thing, y'all, man. And like I said, shout out to the tribe, man. Thank y'all for all the support, man. We definitely appreciate it. I already know, Chief, you appreciate all the support you get, man. And just it really, you guys, like I said, just the energy that I know I get, from you guys, keeps me motivated. You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
everybody saying, nah, 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 that's not gonna work. I'm still like, nah, nah. The people saying it is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So,
mm,
and it's the energy that y'all give, man, like the
mm.
vibration, man. It's just next. It's just next to none, man. So, man, it's just peace and love to everybody, man, and all righteous people in general, y'all.
Yeah, no
Like, for
doubt.
real.
And,
You know
and,
what I
and that's
mean?
what it's all about, brother. If I may, interject, before we conclude, you know what I mean? Once again, too many of our people are dealing with their lower selves and their lower chakras. You know what I'm saying? Like bruh, it's a lot of people are gonna burn. A lot of people are gonna burn. I'm talking about their souls are gonna burn, bro, because they're not right. You see what I'm saying? Because anytime you're making an attempt to make progress, you see what I'm saying, for the benefit of the people. And you have people coming, like you have one fool, on the comment, that's coming to create, what I'm saying, chaos. Those people, they're not right within. So they're gonna burn out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all this to say is this. This is a spiritual thing. And that's why for me, I always focus on the spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because the man is the spirit. The man is not the body. You see what I'm saying? And if your spirit ain't right, you see what I'm saying? Then at the end of the day, man, you ain't right. So we have to focus on the spiritual aspect of things, meaning that everything is going to be okay. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. We are exactly where we need to be. You see what I'm saying? No matter what we do, nothing would have been different, brother, because that's what it was supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? So we are exactly, the script is already written. We are not in the year 2019. We are actually in the year 6,600 and I think 37.
Mm.
And that's the Julian calendar, which was the closest one to our calendar. You see what I'm saying? So the deal was these people were supposed to rule our world and our kingdoms for 6,000 years. So that's 6,000 years being up. And within the 1,000th year to make the 7,000 year is the purging phase. So that's what's happening right now is the purge that's happening. You feel me? So they have another 200 and I think 227 more years to rule our system. After that, brother, it's all going to fall down and we have to step up. So it's already written. It's already prophecy. It's already written in the constellation. That's why, for me, I have no fear because for our people, meaning, because I know eventually we are going to be okay. And here's another thing to even speak about it even more from a metaphysical standpoint. Like I was talking about the ages, right? We live in the age of Aquarius where enlightenment, everything that's done in the dark will come to light. You feel what I'm saying? So once that's done, then we have to step into the age of Capricorn. So with the age of enlightenment, our people are gonna get it. And each age is about 23 to 24, almost 25,000 years. So there's enough time for people to wake up, bruh. But once we step into the age of Capricorn, that's when we're gonna create the new heaven on earth. You see what I'm saying? So that's just the whole science behind all that when you're speaking from a metaphysical standpoint. So we're gonna be just fine, bro. We just gotta keep doing what we're doing. Every step that you take, the universe is gonna make one for you or with you. You know, it's just written that way. You feel me?
Yeah, man. That's what's up, bro. Super deep. Um, I know you know get up out of here pretty soon. Are there any other things? Um, future plans for 2020 with you and the
Yeah,
team.
yeah, man. For 2020, man, is just a matter of, like I said, just keep on doing what I'm doing, moving forward. And like I said, I know there are a lot of people out there calling themselves aboriginals, but they still got that nigger mentality, and those people got to be purged out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely, you know what I'm saying, doing rituals. You know what I'm saying, calling on to the ancestors to deal with these people. You dig what I'm saying? Because we got too much work to do, man. This is too important. Our heritage, our lineage, our ancestors' legacy depends on all that. So let's just continue to do what we're doing, man. And all I could say is, the work, will speak for itself. And at the end of the day, everybody will know who's who. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all good, man. It's all love. For me, I always come in peace. But when it's time for, putting in, getting down, people got to know they're dealing with a real lion. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to have a respect for each other is the only way it's going to work. We can't have this disrespect, and people who are coming to disrespect, they gotta be checked. You see what I'm saying? They gotta be checked. Period. Bottom line, we can't allow these people to again create animosity amongst ourselves because we're doing what we are supposed to do. You feel me? But apart from that, brother, I'm looking forward to 2020 because 2020 is all about vision. You know what I'm saying? It's all about vision. We had the dream phase where Martin Luther King brought the dream. But right now, it's about the vision. All right. The dream you had, let it be your vision. So that's what's happening right now. So 2020 is about vision. Let's take it for what it is and let's make some moves and do what we got to do. That's it.
That's what's up. That is great. So yeah, man, peace to you, man, and like I said, man, continued success. Um, in your endeavors and everything that you got going on, man. 2020, we definitely linking up. Not only for the conference in October, y'all, October 9th through the 12th, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's America's first conference, and then, the tour as well. And so Chief Kalanago is a part of the tour as well. So y'all gonna see us brothers, slide through y'all cities, man. Like I said, man, anybody interested, man, in anything, being a part of it, partnership, sponsorship, things like that, man, hit me up at chiefholiday@gmail.com. Hit up Miss Gretchen Helm. Shout out to Sister Bethy. Shout out to Ty Data, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that do this work, bro. So real quick, man, before we get it out of here, man, any last words? Any words of wisdom? Anything you want to leave with the people, man, before we get up out of here, brother? Chief, you there? Chief. Chief Kalanago. Am I in here? Yeah, I'm in here. Testing. Chief Kalanago. Can I get some ones? Y'all hit me in there? Get some ones. Y'all hear me? Get some ones. They've been in the chat the whole time, yeah. Chief Kalanago, you there? Anybody there? Get some ones in the building? Anybody there? Still live. Coming up on 2 hours right now, man. Shout out to Lotus, the noble Lotus Ali Bay. Yeah, we still in y'all heads, man. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to Lotus though, man. Producing the show, y'all. So I don't know. What's going on. Yeah, y'all. So like I'm solo right now. So that's what's up, man. That was great, Chief Kalanago, man. Yeah, man. Like cleared up a few things, y'all, and dropped some stuff in this little quick interview. Y'all know what it is, man. We're in the building, y'all. I like I said, man. For me, man, like I want to always just focus on the work. You know what I'm saying, and let the work speak for itself. You know what I'm saying. History judge us based off of the fruit. You know what I'm saying. That was bared from the labor. You know what I'm saying. So that's what it's really about, y'all. You can say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, that's really what it's gonna be about. Just the fruit of your labor. You know what I'm saying. So, and then being able to pay that forward. So that's what's important, yo. And then, like I said, another thing, I just want to stress as much as I can, when you guys see chiefs, empresses, chieftainess, and just kings and all these different things, right? If you have a concept, right, that those people are supposed to be served, right, then you have a bastardized, you have a European concept, right? You have a false concept of what a chief is. You know what I'm saying? What a sheik is. What is just translated one to another. Yeah. You have a warped sense of things. You know what I'm saying? You have people that, man, I don't want to do no work, man. I can't be no chief, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really about you serving, being a servant to the people, and our concept of where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? And and then it just comes from some chiefs were great warriors. You know what I'm saying? So that was their service to the people, to fight and to protect their people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, different chiefs had different attributes. You know what I'm saying, that they brought. You know what I'm saying? So that it just and everybody has a chief in them. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is an Indian as well. So you have to, in order to be a great chief or emperor, empresses, you have to be a great Indian, so to speak. Y'all understand what I'm saying? There's not enough too many chiefs, not enough Indians. We all Indians first. So we all here to share and learn with each other, y'all, and to love on each other, man. And that's not said enough, y'all. So people say, like peace and love, y'all, whatever. But we're just talking about really loving on each other, man. So that's what it's really about, y'all. And this tour, it's about peace and prosperity, y'all. And just like I said, linking up with the real ones across America, man. The whole eye contact, man. We getting it in, y'all. And we're gonna break bread and we're gonna pass the peace pipe as just a cultural thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is now. So like I said, Lotus, you around? You Lotus chat room real fast. We out online, man. Peace to everybody, man. It's the chat room. Got Miss Gretchen Ham in the building. Sister Betty is in the building. Peace and love, empresses. Peace to the goddesses. We got Future Teller in the building. What's going on? Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Let's do that. We can get some questions, y'all, real fast. Get up out of here. Shout out to Sister Betty in the building. Hold on, y'all. Let me put this link in the chat room, man, so we can get a couple questions real quick, y'all. Yeah, hope we be able to get y'all in because Lotus gotta get you back in, get y'all in. So let's see how this works. Um, yeah, check it out. Yeah, man, it's always something to do, man. Y'all already know it. Brother Chad Murdoch in the building. Big up. Oh man, I just thought about it, yo. Hey, Lotus gonna have to put it in there. I can't even do it, yeah. Yo, Lotus. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah, man, we back in the building, y'all. Hey, notice you back? Kalanago, you in the building?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. My internet just cut off, so I'm using the hotspot on my phone. But yeah, just
Okay.
wanted to tell I know somebody asked about feathers. Man, I get a lot of my feathers in my travels, man. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of the ancestors give me a lot of feathers. Like I remember, like literally in a space of 45 days, they gave me literally, I would say, like four whole hawks, man. You know what I mean? So I got hawk feathers, turkey feathers. I got geese feathers. You know what I mean? And I create I create my own my own attire. You know what I'm saying, my headpieces. I just get creative and I do what I got to do. So just wanted to share that bit of information. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on, brother. Appreciate that. And like I said, you know what, we'll definitely build. And some of the things that I'm doing, I'll keep you abreast. You know what I'm saying, let you know what it is.
Absolutely. And same here, man. We
No
definitely
doubt.
we always contact anyway. Yeah. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Thank you for the energy, man. Thank you for all the wisdom that you brought, the information that you brought. That's just what's up, man. It was a great interview. Like I said, man. Peace to you, man, and all the work that you're doing, man, and continued success as well. Um, yeah, man. That's Chief Kalanago, y'all.
Before you go, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, who's that?
Hi, it's Sister Bethy.
Hey, how you doing, sis?
How you doing?
I'm okay.
Listen, earlier you were speaking about how we need to get politically involved.
Hmm.
And a lot of our people are not aware of, how to get politically involved.
Hmm.
And we have to teach them.
Right.
So, that being said, we have a bunch of people out in the chat. Now, you know, and I know that we have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch.
Hmm.
And we got to make noise at the legislative level because they're the ones who pass these policies for our local states. And the first place we want to make noise at is when they hold the legislative hearings for education. That is where we can shake the heavens.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that before they pass laws, that they have to give public hearings, and
Hmm.
we can show up at those public hearings and
Indeed.
express how we want them to teach our children the correct education, and
Hmm.
letting them know that, look, you're teaching our kids that they're African Americans and they're not. They need to know that they are indigenous to this land,
Yeah.
and we want it to start now. We can do that. And not
Yeah.
only they're the ones with the cameras and make the breaking news. That will
Hmm.
make the breaking news across the states.
Yeah.
So
I mean, definitely. I mean, the
every session, every
Mhm.
year they have a session. Session opens up. And
Yeah.
that's when they pass the laws for each state. Each state has their own legislative body.
Hmm.
And we have to get on their websites, your legislator's website, and look for the educational committee.
Hmm.
That's the committee that passed all the bullshit education for our kids.
Yeah.
And before they could pass anything that they want to teach our kids, they hold a public hearing. And we show up to those hearings and we get a chance to speak. I've gone to the committee's hearings, public hearings, for decriminalization of our people, for gang violence and selling drugs. And I've spoke before the legislator. And we've got a lot of laws that were decriminalized here in Connecticut, such as selling marijuana. And
Hmm.
we're currently working on them to release our brothers and sisters that's in prison for
Yeah.
selling marijuana doing 20 fucking years, excuse my language.
Hmm.
And yet you're legalizing marijuana. Since you're legalizing them, you better release our brothers from prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So that's the law we're working on here in Connecticut to get them to just release them. And
Hmm.
they're gonna release thousands of brothers that's sitting in jail for selling marijuana.
Yeah,
So, like I said, the education committee, that's what we want to hit, and that's going to shock waves across the states. But we as a people got to look on their sites and look what date they're going to hold those because they try to be sneaky, but they have to put it out on the websites, on their websites, what date the public hearing is for the education committee to hear from the public.
absolutely. Yeah,
So we got to start educating our people to show up to those hearings because that's how it's going to work.
yeah, I agree.
So legislative sessions coming up in February. So everybody should be looking on their legislative sites for those dates and go show up and say, why are our children being taught history, the truth in history? Stop teaching them that.
Indeed,
So,
I agree.
and then when they come out and say, well, we don't know that they're African, we can show them the damn paperwork. Yes, we are. We are Aboriginals.
Absolutely.
So it's got to start somewhere.
Definitely, sis. I mean, you're absolutely right. Because all the policies that are made behind the, be in those meetings, they're proposed, and if we are not there to oppose it or at least say, well, not that is not gonna affect our people in a positive way, then we're not even gonna let that go to a point where it's gonna turn into a bill. So you're absolutely right. We have to put ourselves in those positions to kind of like literally block anything before it even hit the floor. So I
Exactly.
totally agree. And that's what I mean by us getting into the political arena. We have to go to these local meetings in our attire and represent ourselves as who we are and let our voices be heard. So yes, indeed, 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 indeed. All right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
once again, man, thank you, fam. Like, brother, I gotta, you know, make some moves. I gotta, assist a
Yep.
sister, with a legal situation. I mean, the sister I had on my platform earlier, what I mean? So I definitely gotta go help her out. She's dealing with a very, very, very serious situation with, out in Arkansas. So it's sad that all women and children got to go through this, but you know what? I'm always gonna be there, to assist. So I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be a part of the platform, and thank you so much. Continue to build, and definitely, I'm certainly sure it won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Hey man, thank
Yes.
you for coming through, man. We definitely yeah, man. We're gonna get ready to shut this thing down. So hey man, thanks, Chief.
Yeah,
Uh,
peace and love.
Kalanago coming through,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, we definitely
thank you.
appreciate it, man.
And thanks to the platform as well. And sis, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anytime. Take care. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. We're gonna shut down this stream, y'all, so it can kind of won't be so long, and we'll come back a little later, and just we got some stuff to talk about. We got some uh some house cleaning to do. Um, it's
Hmm.
just a lot of information that's going on out there right now. Yeah, um, we're gonna get into the the debate that happened. And I know some people are like, well, what's the matter with us? But it kind of matters because the whole Pan African information is overwhelmed our community, right? So not only do we debunk that, it's important for us to debunk that because that's what our people are moving off of is off the Pan African so-called conscious mindset, right? So
Hmm.
everybody,
Yeah, they are.
everybody live what y'all living. We out.
Mm.
Hey, Lotus, yeah, we can shut it down, brother.
Oh, I didn't know we was.
Yeah, we still
You coming
good.
back later?
Yeah, we coming back.
Oh, what time?
Probably about an hour. A little bit,
Okay.
maybe an hour or so. Yeah, might about an hour. We just gotta handle a few things, y'all.
Okay, Chief. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace. Hey, Lotus, shut it down, brother. Lotus. Hold on, let me check.
He's not on, Chief.
Yeah, he should be shutting it down in a second. Yeah, man. Kalanago coming to y'all. Peace to everybody, man. Like I said, man, go subscribe to that Tribe Up Sports News and Entertainment channel. Man, we're gonna be doing some lives over there as well. Um, yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. Peace to everybody that showed up tonight. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, we'll be back a little later, man. Me and Lotus, um, whoever else will come on the bill with us a little later, y'all. We're gonna have fun. Banging on this little debate, this vaccine debate today. Lotus, you shut it down whenever you get a chance, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so man, peace and love to everybody, y'all. Definitely appreciate all y'all, man, and the energy that y'all brought, man. Shout out to all the haters too, man. It wouldn't have been right if we didn't have no haters in the chat room, man. So peace to all the haters, man. Like we need them. Let us know that somebody hates you. Like somebody hate the work that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the slanderers out there, man. Y'all need something to do. So we're gonna give y'all some work. We're just gonna keep it moving, man, and keep doing great things, man. So be on the lookout for America First tour and conference, man. October 9th through the 12th, Las Vegas, Nevada, man. Aboriginal Peoples Day, man. We just gonna do what we want to do, man. Call shit what we want to call it. We don't. This is America's Day, man. This is Americans' Day. It's for the first Americans, man. We are the first American Council. Um, yeah, man, and like everything that so everybody said that we supposed to be doing and organizing and putting things together, man. That's what the whole thing is about, man. So shout out to everybody, man. Like every live stream, every day, man, we getting people coming through, sending us their emails, y'all. Um, hey, man, I got this information. I have, I got this expertise. You know what I'm saying? And we just forming up like Voltron, y'all. So like I said, man, salute to everybody. We definitely, notice, yeah, yeah, man. Peace to everybody, though, man. We definitely appreciate y'all. Yeah, we're gonna be back. Like I said, we're gonna be back a little later, y'all. Just getting everything together. Notice.